Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with an update about what's on the bench. I got a lot more done on the Jack Reacher Chevelle this week. You can see I've got the body painted and clear coated, and I've got the stripes in place. I've got the underside painted, including the interior. And I did have one problem with this. When I went to put the decals on as they came in the kit, I discovered that there was a problem, and whoever was doing the file creation at round 2, they messed up and they did not knock out the area between the pinstripe and the main stripes, so it ended up looking like this. Definitely not right for what was seen in the movie, which was the stock stripes. Now, since this is supposed to be a box stock build, I didn't want to go with aftermarket decals. Keith Marks does make a very nice set, but what I did was I had a spare set from a Chevelle that I had built a while ago. So these are technically the correct stripes from an AMT Chevelle. The only difference is they're not from the Jack Reacher release of it. So I think I'm keeping with the spirit of the build, if not the exact letter technically. I also got the interior finished off. You can see I've got the center console and the shifter in place now, and the dashboard is glued in. I've got the engine finished off now, except for the alternator. I have the wheels in place, and the chassis is finished all the way up through, but not counting the tailpipes. I also got more done on the General Lee. All the decals are now on, and it's received its final clear coat. And like the Chevelle, I've got all the appropriate places inside the body painted. So the only thing that this now needs is the final polishing and bare metal foil before I do the final assembly on it. I also picked up a couple new things this week. The first is something I found on Shapeways. It's Huey, Dewey, and Louie from the movie Silent Running. They're cast in 1/24th, and the three of them are subtly different, or in the case of number 2, not so subtle. Molded all as one piece with these sprue between the legs to be cut off, and they're fairly well detailed. There's a little bit of a texture that probably should be sanded off. I'm going to give it a light wet sanding and see how it looks after that. But really, the detail work is pretty nice. You can see the arms are actually open, they're not just cast as one big lump. So that should be fun to do. There's also a toy and model show this weekend, and I was able to find a couple of things that have been on my want list for a while, but they haven't really been high priority items. So I've been waiting for a good deal on them, and I finally found them. The first of them, John Travolta's Firebird Fever. This was one of a few cars that were built by Barris's shop back in the late 70s, early 80s for celebrities. Another model kit that was kind of part of this series was AMT's Farrah Fawcett Foxy Vet. It was later reissued as the AMT Eckler Corvette. It's not really a TV movie car, but as a product of the time, it was really interesting to me, so I'll build this one box stock. Another one was the TJ Hooker Patrol car. This is one that I actually have been looking for more actively, but most people seem to want more than what the kit's worth. This kit has been reissued a whole bunch of times as the Dukes of Hazzard car, as the Gotham City PD Joker Goon car, but yeah, it's cool. This is an early release of it, so the model should be in pretty clean shape. It does have all of the parts and all of the decals in it, so this is another one that's going to be a box stock build for me. And last is the Jungle Gym Vega NHRA Funny Car, which this one is actually going to become 2 builds. I'm going to use the body to recreate the Trans Am 2000 from the movie Redline, and I picked up a resin Dodge Omni body, and I'll be using that and the interior from this kit to create a replica of Ground Shaker, which was a toy back in the early 1980s, late 1970s, and it was arguably the very first thing that I ever built. So I'm going to be creating a replica of that just for my own nostalgia's sake. So that's it for this week. I got some pretty good progress made on these two, and in the next few days I'm going to be adding the bare metal foil and probably finishing them both up. So check back next week to see what I've got then. Thanks for watching.